The Elite Guard is Transformers Animated Season 2, Episode 1, and 17th overall, originally airing April 12th, 2008. In it, the Elite Guard show up. Shenanigans ensue. Some deck towers still under construction from the destruction from last episode, and the Autobots return to their original job to help clean it up. The humans are getting kind of scared of the Transformers because, well, you would too if they wrecked half the city. Meanwhile, Bee is helping Sari with some paperwork because she's the new chairman of the board, and they're upset. No time for that, UFO!
We better look into it. Transform and roll out!
Fanzone and team are on the scene. You can even see an Optimus fire truck, Bumblebee being Fanzone's car, Bulkhead SWAT van, no Ratchet ambulance or Proud motorcycle, but there are police cars he probably could have scanned and be like G1.
Have your men stand down. Let us handle this.
Oh, what? So you can wreck the other half of the city? I don't think so.
We saw Sentinel and Ultra Magnus in episode 1, and Sentinel's full body in Along Came the Spider, but this is Jazz's first appearance.
Robots. Why did it have to be robots?
Obvious Indiana Jones snake reference. The Elite Guard have 3 lines on their logo to stand apart. I don't know if this was actually intentional, but this may be a reference to when Transformers Cybertron, Hotshot, Scattershot, and Red Alert were upgraded and became Cybertron Defense. And their logo has only one dash line chevron wing design. The Elite Guard have 3, so I kind of wonder what would a 2 dash chevron line be. The team salutes, but no organics on the ship. Quarantine.
You might feel different when the slime they spew out melts through your armor plating and rots your circuits from the inside. I've had some experience with organics, and believe me, nothing good can come from contact with them. Isn't that right, Optimus?
Of course referencing Along Came a Spider, so I'm guessing all other Autobots' only interaction with organic life was the spiders on that one planet, so that might explain their incredible xenophobia towards organics.
This is completely unnecessary, Sentinel!
So Sentinel hoses them down like a Russian prison. Prowl even yells out that they were dealing with humans, not space barnacles, referencing Nature Calls.
You, Tiny, step out from behind your overgrown pal!
I don't think he remembers us.
And that's just how I want to keep it.
Foreshadowing, because of course the drill sergeant want to remember every single person they train, just like how every teacher doesn't remember you. I ain't trying to start no intergalactic incident, lady. I ain't trying to start Babylon 5. So after watching the team down for 7 hours, they finally get to the point of Allspark, now! They have to kind of awkwardly explain that their most holy artifact blew up. Well, more of a dispersal.
But this one tops them all!
Vegan hero for keeping it from Megatron and the Decepticons!
So Sentinel's not buying that the Decepticons are on Earth. Meanwhile, Decepticons are in Earth complaining that they should do something. But luckily, the Autobot sensors can't get through carbon, and the idea of the cons hiding out in tunnels is a reference to the Taliban because 2008. And I'm stupid because I'm only now realizing the purple tunnels the cons will stay in for the rest of the season is the same purple mine from Nature Calls. They set this up. Megatron explains that the Decepticons lost the Great War was due to the Allspark, I'm guessing outproduced the Decepticons, and the Autobots' exclusive space bridge technology. But luckily, Megatron downloaded some blueprints. He got them while on the Autobot ship, presumably the last time he was there in the finale rather than 50 years ago, because otherwise why wouldn't Sumdac have made some by now? So with the Allspark gone, they're going to build a space bridge and go straight to Cybertron. But unfortunately, because plot, he only got half of the space bridge tech. But that's why we kidnapped Sumdac to figure it out. Or else. This is also our first time seeing Cybertron in animated. I mean, Cybertron always kind of looks the same. They just made the internal lights the Allspark blue, which is going to be the new standard for Cybertron. And I guess the towers hanging out in the space are really big because, well, of course, they're not going to need oxygen being robots. The moons look kind of huge, and one of them should be gold. Back to the bot, Sentinel wants some evidence. Apparently, I guess no one got footage of Megatron, and all the footage of Starscream went away, and why couldn't they even get Starscream's body? So Magnus and Sentinel's going with Optimus, and Jazz gets to stay behind and babysit the rest. Sentinel already got some Earth vehicles for them. A giant military wagon, and a pickup truck with a lift kit and a snowplow. The joke is kind of meant to be that these are two very conspicuous, unconspicuous vehicles. Even though Sentinel's truck is really not that weird in Michigan, I mean, just painted black and covered in rust, and this is literally every single vehicle my dad and brother has ever owned. I guess Magnus's truck is pretty weird, though. They head out, and Magnus drives British-Japanese style. Sentinel calls Optimus a scrub and gets exactly what he deserves. Now look, the Decepticons gave Sumdac a little guy to help out. Until Megatron blows him up because he has an Allspark fragment in him. So Optimus was right, and it did disperse, somehow getting indoors and all the way back in Detroit despite blowing up in the middle of Erie. As one shard possesses a robot factory and starts turning out more security-trons. Sorry gets called about it, and we find out his name later in the episode, but whatever. This guy with a pompadour mullet mustache is Porter C. Powell. He's on Sumdac's board. We saw him in a few crowd shots in Season 1, most notably Blast from the Past, and he was working with Meltdown until Meltdown. Sorry breaks quarantine. Is this hallway reused from the Ark just painted to be the Apple Store colors? Or I wouldn't really put it past Eric to design a whole new hallway.
You don't want to be slime.
Nah, dude, that's Nickelodeon. We're not going to be there for at least 2 more decades.
But Sentinel
is a head. All due respect.
Crazy.
Jazz is unsure about humans, but Bumblebee is like, come on, man. And Jazz is like, yeah, I didn't think about that. His vehicle mode is basically just a chibi-vied version of his G1 car without all the decals. Sorry really likes it. Meanwhile, on Dinobot Island, love the detail we can see the R crash. Making up for their lack of an appearance last episode, the Dinobots show up, and Sentinel immediately antagonizes the giant Transformers with flame weapons, despite them already having Autobot logos. But Sentinel has a Captain America shield, and Magnus has a Thor hammer, which scares the Dinobots off into the bushes. Not even like Homer Simpson, where you can see the bush eat him. Here, they literally just fade into them. So after getting trippy with the traffic light, they find the security bots who have not become Transformers for some reason. And Jazz and Prowl bond over ninjutsu and his nunchucks. Optimus and Gaines show up and they try turning it off with the key. It gets stuck. This is the episode that firmly establishes that Prime is a rank. So this is Optimus, this is Sentinel. They are the rank of Prime, which is not the overall leader of Transformers in this series, because Ultra Magnus is. His title is Magnus, which is like President, so his real name is Ultra. Optimus tells Sentinel to shove it, and he uses battle axe diplomacy, which works. And they find a shard. Happy ending. Except Sorry gets a bad ending because Pal just usurped the company from her. And he can do this because legally Sorry does not have a social number or adoption papers or a birth certificate. She legally does not exist. Spoilers for the future, but that means Isaac pulled a Steven Universe rather than a Superman on Sorry.
We have no choice. We have to call immigration.
I told Javier he'd be safe here, and I meant it. Illegal when you forge my adoption papers? I'm an illegal immigrant, Mom. You've been harboring me for over 17 years.
This is a good episode. It's essentially just a new pilot for the rest of Season 2, establishing the Elite Guard, the Decepticons being underground, literally, and the Allspark fragments being all over the place and everyone wants to collect them. Overall, I'll give this episode a 6 out of 10. It's good, but not spectacular. Sentinel Prime's design is really nice. We technically first got his Cybertronian full body reveal in Along Came a Spider, which is sort of funny they designed a Cybertronian vehicle for him just for 3 seconds. I really like the unique giant shoulder pads made out of the snowplow, and the fact that he even has a snowplow is also unique. We never seen a Transformer with one before or since, and I definitely think that should be more of a thing. Technically, this is our first time really using Sentinel as a character, even though that name has existed since G1. He's played by Townsend Coleman, who has 2 last names, and he's a very regular, hey, it's that guy voice actor, most recognizable as the 80s Ninja Turtle Michelangelo, but his other most notable role directly inspired Sentinel's design. While big chins, and especially giant chins like Sentinel and Alien X, are pretty common in Derek's art, Sentinel's design was directly inspired by The Tick, a superhero parody series about a man in a blue tick costume he never takes off, and he's very stupid but very strong. It's been readapted a few times, but will always be recognized as the 90s cartoon version. Jazz, who has always been the biggest black-coded character in Transformers, was inevitably going to be played by the go-to black voice actor, Phil Lamar. Nothing wrong with that, it's just every time there's a black-coded character, it's definitely going to be Phil Lamar or Kevin Michael Richardson. His design kind of looks like he's wearing a tracksuit and then the Jazz G1 costume on top. I love his head sculpt with the attentional goatee and the headphones and the hat. Magnus looks appropriately stoic and big and powerful, with the entire front of the truck becoming his shoulder pads, his soul patch, and his giant hammer, which has since become synonymous with Ultra Magnus. He's played by Jeff Bennett doing an impression of G1, and his toy shows off that the guy has a lot of weapons that we will never see in the actual show. But let me know your guys' opinions down below, as well as hitting that like button and subscribing if you're new.